It's definitely a positive. He's been chomping at the bit to get back out there, and we're going to be smart, bring him along slowly, but he's getting a lot of mental reps, and so we'll continue to increase his load and see where it goes. But he's a special talent, and you can just kind of feel the juice out there when he's out there. I know Kyler gets excited, I get excited, and we're really ready to see what he can do. So today was a good start, and we'll keep easing him back into it.
Is there any long-term concern about that hamstring?
No, I don't think so. Just seemed to tighten up on him, and we wanted to be overly cautious. Like I said, he's been getting a ton of walkthrough reps, and the mental side of it, he's been doing really well at, and so we just want to be smart.
Now that he is getting more reps with Kyler, how are they looking together so far? And when you mentioned that Kyler's excited, how much is he showing that?
Just my discussions with him, just kind of our thought processes on the offense, where we can take it, what DeAndre can do within it. He's just been glowing, and kind of his talk, whether it was through the summer or his just interactions with DeAndre and kind of the relationship they've already built. And so that's exciting to hear him talk in those terms. And we'll just, once we get him out there full speed, we'll just continue to build. It's not going to happen overnight, and we all know that. I got to figure out how best to use them along with our other offensive coaches, and then Kyler and him have to, get on the same page, and that takes time. But we will get there eventually, and just having a dynamic, one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best receiver in the league, really can completely change your offense.
Next up, Darren Urban, Kyle Odegaard, Mark McClune.
Hey, Kliff, you had mentioned the other day about being excited to see what the inside linebacker core could do now that you've kind of upgraded in a lot of places. I'm wondering overall where you find playing time maybe for all these guys, and specifically, what you were expecting to see from Evan Weaver when he first showed up, and what you have seen now that he's been through a couple weeks of practice.
Those inside guys, our room just got a lot deeper through the draft, through free agency. I know y'all just spoke with Devondre. I mean, his intensity, his focus, his athleticism has been awesome. I mean, he's been locked in from day one getting here, and to have that type of length and athleticism in our league with the dynamic tight ends that we have to cover is what we need. And then you throw in Isaiah, you draft Evan, you have Hicks here, you have Tanner here. I mean, there's a lot of Zeke, there's a lot of quality players that have played a lot of snaps in this league. And so it's been fun to see that position progress. And we just have to be creative. And a guy like Isaiah, how do you get him on the field to maximize his athleticism, but not overwhelm him with scheme? And that's, the $1 million question we're working through right now.
Hey, Kliff, how did Chase handle the playing time roller coaster last year, and what do you kind of envision for him within the offense this season?
He's competitive, and so I know he wasn't happy about it. We all feel like he's a starting running back in this league, and he does too. And, had he not got hurt against the Giants, I'm not sure if we would have traded for Kenyan. We liked Kenyan a lot, may have done something after the season, but, we felt that confident in what Chase brings. And when he had his opportunities, he shined, and he continues to shine. I mean, he can catch it, he can run it, he can block, play special teams, and he's really bright football-wise. And so he's everything you want, and couldn't be more impressed by him as a competitor and just a true pro.
Hey, Kliff, Devondre had mentioned just the challenges of being with a new team and the pace that your offense plays at in practice, how fast it is. How much has that changed year one to year two? Have y'all been able to pick up the pace even more in year two?
I would say so. I think offensively, just a comfort level with how we're operating, able to get plays in and out, quicker personnel groups. And so I think that just has made us more efficient overall as an offense. And then, with VJ, I've told him, I said, hey, these first couple of weeks, we're going to push the tempo. We're going to make guys get lined up quick. I want them to think on the run, kind of overstress them, overtrain that aspect of it. And then we'll settle back in our mock game week and start doing some different things. But it's all part of the process. We got to get in shape as well. I mean, that's pushing the tempo, making guys play at a higher clip than even the games will go, is kind of the focus right now.
Next up, Bob McManaman, Mike Jarecki, Josh
for a long time. A lot of guys, especially on offense, have said they need to get hit before the season. They use Carson Palmer, a great example, to absorb it, to get it, to recognize it, to feel it again. I'm wondering after this weird year, if you have guys on the team that do need it, how do you assemble that without just a practice dummy?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's uncharted territory for all these guys, and I think we're all trying to figure out where is that fine line where you want to get some physicality, you want to tackle to the ground, get some live work, but you want to be smart, be careful, and make sure you get them all to the game as well. And so we're all looking at that, and we'll pick our spots to do that, but we won't have our quarterbacks hit prior to week one, and I know Kyler is happy about that.
Kliff, 5 teams haven't put a player on IR, including the Cardinals. What does it say about the organization and obviously the team?
I've said it from day one. I think Tom Reed and our medical staff have just done a tremendous job of really making us aware of the protocols, making us feel comfortable with the protocols day in and day out, not letting guys slip on it. And then obviously our guys have been responsible in their approach, and for the most part, it seems like have done what they can to avoid, contracting the virus. And there's some times that it may be impossible to avoid, but as of now, guys are locked in and understand what we're trying to do, and it's going to take all of us doing everything right every day.
Hey, Kliff, a two-parter for you. What does DeAndre's ability to go inside and outside do for the offense? And then with so many receiving options and only one football, is there any concern or stress on your part that you're not going to be able to get the ball to everyone as much as they would like?
That's always the case with great players. They all want the ball, and you wouldn't want it any other way. So there'll be games where guys are going to be upset, and that's what you want. I mean, you want them to want the ball in their hands, and we'll be creative in how we try to distribute the ball, but we're going to call plays to win games. And we've kind of said that from day one, is that, hey, whatever it takes, if we got to run it 80 times, we're going to run it 80 times. If we throw it 80 times, we'll throw it if we need to do that to win the game. And I think our guys understand that. DeAndre wants to win just like anybody else, just like Fitz, just like Kirk, just like Dan Arnold, just like Drake, Chase. All those guys that want to win first and foremost, and that's what makes it fun to be around each and every day. And as far as DeAndre's versatility, he's a total package. When you're talking, you move him in the slot, and he can, have that feel and savvy inside, and then you can go outside and he can do his thing there. And that's one of the great appeals to his game when I'm watching him as a play caller.
We'll wrap it up with Catherine Fitzgerald and Darren Urban, please.
Kliff, when you mentioned that y'all think that Chase could start somewhere else, but then obviously have Kenyan as an option, are there things you need to do either in practice or in games to make sure they're staying in a rhythm, or just like any continuity there?
I think they do a good job of kind of making themselves get into rhythm. Both those guys, when they practice, they go hard. I mean, they're the guys that they take a 5-yard run, whatever happens in the line of scrimmage, and they'll burst for 50, 60, take it to the end zone. And I think that's kind of how they stay locked in and stay in rhythm. But we'll make sure that guys are fresh and healthy. When you have two that you think can both do it at a high level, you can keep those guys fresh and healthy. And that's what we're shooting for, finding great roles for both guys and just helping the offense be as productive as possible.
Kliff, back to the inside linebackers for a moment. When you talked about all those guys that you have before, do you see a different role this year defensively for Dennis Gardeck than necessarily than inside linebacker?
Dennis has been playing a little bit more outside linebacker. He learned inside last year. We're going to have him at outside. He's such a tremendous special teams weapon, but he's a heck of a football player as well. So we want him to have a role, in the defensive phase at some point, and he's continuing to progress there. But he's a guy that if an inside guy went down, an outside guy went down, you could throw him in, and you're going to get a heck of a football player.
I think the biggest thing is just being yourself and understanding your role and just earning your respect through the way you play and the way you compete every day. I've been around long enough to understand that talking doesn't mean anything. People respect you based off of actions.
Hey, Devondre, how has just the transition been to the Cardinals in general and learning everything when so much of this has been virtual?
I think it's going along smoothly. They're doing a good job of just making sure everybody is learning at a good pace and not giving us too much at one time, because this is a different year, different than any year I've ever been a part of. Like we haven't had an off season at all. So in reality, for someone like me, I'm kind of behind in terms of learning my teammates, learning who I'm playing with. But I think we're getting better daily.
Hey, Devondre, I'm curious. We all know that Isaiah Simmons is going to have a learning curve as a rookie. At this early stage, as you kind of interpret where he is in this whole process, like how has that been, and how have you been able to help him?
Isaiah is very intelligent, like very, very intelligent. He's picking it up very quickly. Like you said, with any new defense, there's definitely that learning curve, but he's picking everything up really quickly. Like I'm really impressed by it. And, any way that I can help him, I try my best, but like I said, he's doing a great job at this point.
Next three, Kevin Zimmerman, Bob McManaman, Catherine Fitzgerald.
Hey, Devondre. Last year, I know you weren't around, but the Cardinals actually said that a lot of play calling was on Jordan Hicks and it was almost too much. Do you feel like right now you're able to kind of take some of being a vocal leader on the field off his plate a little bit as far as how much you know the defense?
Yeah, I try to do my best within the knowledge that I know. Like I don't try to overstep my boundaries. Jordan is the leader of this team at this point, and I just try to help him as much as I can. Like building a relationship with him on and off the field is my main priority at this point.
Speaking with Jordan Hicks, what kind of teammate has he been? What kind of player is he, and can you guys be because of what he brings?
Jordan is a great teammate. Every time I have a question or concern, I can go to him and he has the answer. And if he doesn't have it, like we figure it out together. And that's all you can really ask for in a teammate, somebody that's willing to help you when you need the help, especially coming into a new situation, new defense, new surroundings.
I think it was Devon Kennard who was saying, like, also being new to the team, something that was big for him was just hearing other people's voices over some of these Zoom calls. What are some of those other small things that, like, as you're learning a new team can feel like a bigger deal?
Like I was saying earlier, it's just dealing with different personalities. Everybody on the team is an adult and everybody has different personalities. So you have to learn people and kind of figure out who you're dealing with. And that's kind of hard to tell through a virtual meeting. But now that we're all in the building, we're all out here practicing together, making calls, getting to know each other, it's easier to figure out who you're playing with, know their strengths, their weaknesses, and be able to play off of that.
Next up, Darren Urban, Mark McClune, Catherine Fitzgerald.
I'm curious, you've been in the league long enough, Devondre. Kliff was saying the other day that he, in some ways, kind of likes not having preseason because it allows him a little bit more of a steady install type situation with the practice times and everything. You don't have the breakups of games. As a player, do you think that can be beneficial at all, or is it going to be weird going into the first game, having been a pro for so long, and having it count and not having the rhythm of a game day already in your back pocket because of preseason?
It can be beneficial in some ways, for our younger guys, rookies and second-year players. I feel like preseason can be important because it allows you to go out there and make mistakes and be able to play in a game atmosphere in a situation where it doesn't really count, but it does count. Like it can be beneficial, but for someone like me, I practice the way I play, so I wouldn't say the preseason is huge for me. Yeah, I would like to play in a preseason game since this is a new team for me and everything is new. I would have liked to play in a preseason game or two, but I've been in the NFL long enough to understand how to be a pro and how to operate on a daily basis.
And Devondre, what are some of the challenges going against this offense, your offense every day, and how do you think it will prepare you for the season with no preseason games?
The biggest challenge is the speed that our offense practices at. They practice at an extremely high tempo, higher than probably 90% of the teams in the NFL. So for me being in a new defense, sometimes it's kind of hard getting lined up, getting your calls out, and getting everything situated. But, you know, if we can get used to doing it now in practice, then it'll be easy on game day.
Devondre, when you mentioned getting to know guys outside of football too, on top of just like the Zoom calls and some texting, what are some other ways that like y'all are getting to know each other?
Like having lunch together, sitting with each other at lunch, or just finding time in between meetings, you know, to really sit down and talk about something other than football, getting to know each other outside of football, because that's how you really get to know someone, you know, like, yes, this is what we do, but it's not who we are. You know, like people have lives outside of it. So getting to know your teammates on a personal level, it just goes a long way.
All right, we'll wrap it up with the last two, Cam Cox, Catherine Fitzgerald.
Devondre, just curious, it's a non-football question here. Your Twitter handle is Came a Long Way. Is there a story behind that?
Oh, yeah, there's a long story behind it, actually. Coming out of high school, didn't have any offers, D1, 2, 3, NAIA, anything. I had a JUCO offer, so I kind of took it and ran with it. And, you know, I made the most of it. And here I am now, you know, like I've always had to take the long route to get anywhere I've been, whether it was JUCO, transferring to D1, being a backup, to, you know, getting scouting reports going to the NFL saying that I was strictly a special teams player, and I've been a 4-year starter. So it definitely has a lot of meaning behind it.
Devondre, outside of football, I know there's been so much that has happened in the last few months between coronavirus, between, you know, everything happening in the U.S. with race relations. Having spent a lot of time in both Florida and Minnesota, what have these months been like for you, just kind of watching all this unfold?
My personal opinion is you got to start somewhere, you know, like I'm just glad that it's actually being brought to people's attention, you know, like it's not going to change overnight, but it's the reality of the world we live in. You know, things aren't the way we want them to be. And as long as people just realize it and take steps to actually try to make it better, it's all fine and dandy with me. You know, like I lived in the South, and if you've been in the South, you know how it is. And then I lived in the Midwest as well, and it's a lot different there, you know. So it's just, you got to bring attention to a problem and find ways to solve it.
Very good relationship with KD. Really, just when he first came in here, just because I felt like in a weird way our situations kind of related to each other. So like I remember he was my roommate when he first came in for the San Fran game. So I was just trying to help him out with the playbook just because it was a really short week for him, and we just started talking ball, talking life, and just it was unique to me just how KD really came here, how it was like his situation in Miami where he was the backup guy, you know, he was just young, learning, trying to get his opportunity to shine. And he comes here, man, he takes full advantage of it, his carries, and he balls out. And, you know, man, it's a team game. And so we just really related to each other in that situation, started hanging out off the field a little more. And, you know, that's my guy, man. So we come into this backfield, we're just trying to be the best backfield that we can be and really just, you know, put the load on us and find different ways to, you know, obviously carry the team.
Hey, Chase, you've become close with Kyle over the last year or so. How is he any different this year? Is he either mostly off the field but around the guys?
Definitely his leadership. He definitely embraced that leadership role. I was kind of close to Kyle when he first came to the team, but as our relationship grew, you really see him vocally taking those steps forward and just really leading the team, you know, setting the tempo. Last year, he didn't say too much. I mean, towards the end of the year, he started to speak up a little more, but he's speaking up a lot more now, you know, really getting the team going, getting the offense going. And he's going to grow with that as he gets older and as he gets more games under his belts and more wins under his belts and everything like that. So it's good to see that at the early stage right now.
Hey, Chase, Kliff was saying that he's, you know, pretty excited about you. Do you feel like camp is a time where you have to prove that you can have a decent-sized role on offense, or do you think that's already kind of figured in where you and KD can be that 1-2 punch?
You know, I mean, I don't try to really look at other people's perspective. You know, I have my own perspective about myself and about the situation of this team. And I know my number's called. I'll be ready. And I'll be ready just to have whatever role they want me to have on this offense. Like I said, though, it's a team game. We got DeAndre Hopkins coming in. We still got 11. We still got Christian Kirk. So we got a lot of playmakers to feed the ball. And that's a good problem to have, if you ask me. So everyone gets their touches or whatever the case may be. Some games you might have where Kyler throws for 40 times or something like that. You know, whatever's helping us win the football game. So I'm just embracing my role. And, you know, Kliff, he's a mastermind, man. He's a wizard. He'll be able to figure it out with getting certain guys touches or just getting different, unique looks to get certain guys on the field in their snaps.
Next three, Mark McClune, Catherine Fitzgerald, Bob McManaman.
Hey, Chase, good to see you, man. Hey, could you just kind of take us through the roller coaster of emotions last year, New York, things, you know, the highs and the lows, and then the off season, trying to take things to the next level, and during the pandemic, not being able to go to work. How have you been able to manage all of that in the past year?
We obviously New York was kind of the game of my career so far, and just to, you know, have so many family and friends around, you know, playing football at Fordham right down the road, it was such a blessing for me. And really the off season, man, just going into, you know, with the quarantine and everything like that, it really didn't stop us from working. I mean, I was working out with Trent Sherfield, Christian Kirk damn near every day, and also Chris, the quarterback. So we were just really getting the timing down, getting the routes down, trying to just find ways where we can become better football players. And I felt like those things is what separates teams coming in and out, because, I mean, all 32 teams around the National Football League are going to have a short camp. But, you know, we had such a good time with each other, and really, you know, time really where we spent doing routes. I mean, we did damn near 2 months of work. So before we even were reporting and doing virtual meetings. So I think that is going to help this team take that next step. And, you know, we kind of already had a little jump start just to obviously get the offense rolling a little bit while we unofficially couldn't do it.
Chase, I know such a big part of you getting to know this team when you were a rookie was all the in-person stuff, like going to the movies with guys, having to do like smoothie runs and stuff. What happens now when there are so many new players on this team who are trying to make those relationships that are not just about like what y'all are doing on the field, but like actually getting to know guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, I try to embrace every single rookie, man, and just every single young guy coming there, because I remember, you know, how it was for me my rookie year, just trying to really find a place where you can kind of, you know, be comfortable, but, you know, obviously not say too much or whatever the case may be. So I always try to talk to guys. You know, if I see someone sitting alone at the lunch table, I'll invite them over to the Three Amigo table with me, Trent, Kirk, you know, and just really just have guys feel like, you know, it's just football, man. You know, it's just we're just at the professional level now, and really just to get guys where they can be comfortable. And, you know, because I feel like that's a very important aspect to a team, just to have the locker room is. And I really feel good about where our locker room is right now. We have the leaders and the veterans, you know, who set the tone on how you should handle yourself professionally. And we also have a good balance of young guys where, you know, people can still feel comfortable and everything like that.
Chase, with no preseason games, are you getting to absorb enough hits to get ready for the regular season? And if not, how do you go about getting those hits?
I think you do that in a smart way. You know, that's one thing I was wondering how certain teams are going to handle camp this year, just because you have some camps where, you know, they're still going to do live periods and everything like that, even without preseason games, because you feel like, okay, you know, we got to, you know, people have to feel getting tackled to the ground. You know, the defensive players have to tackle to the ground. And then you have some coaches who are going to take the more conservative role. I think we have a delicate balance here. I mean, when we get it going during the 11-on-11 periods, you know, we get it going a little bit, but then there's also certain aspects where we're taking care of each other. You know, like I'm not going to cut block a defensive linebacker. So in no way are we having our linebackers, you know, completely bull rush the running backs, but we're definitely getting a good first, you know, working our feet, working our hands and everything like that. And it's a good balance, man, just to take care of each other, because, I mean, the end goal is, you know, 20 weeks away. We want to be playing in February. So in order to do that, we got to be smart about it and just be professionals about it.
Next up, Kyle Odegaard, Craig Foodie, Josh Weinfuss.
Chase, Buddha and Chandler, there's kind of an age gap between those two guys, and their personalities are a little bit different, but it seems like they're super close. Does it surprise you, their friendship, and what kind of friendship do they have?
I actually got into that friendship a little bit this offseason. I was playing the video game with those two damn near every day, and we would hang out a little bit. Took a little trip to Sedona, being bored. It's definitely it's a cool dynamic, just because, you know, I call Chan big bro and everything like that. And I remember when I first got here, I was always picking Chandler's mind just about, you know, his road to how he became so great, all pro and all things like that. And really, you know, how he told me, like, you know, he started off missing a couple games his rookie year and in year 2, year 3, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. And that relationship, man, is it's unique just because, you know, Buddha's on a path, you know, to really just become a household name in this league. And I'm so happy for him doing that. And then you got Chandler, who's kind of already established. So I think Buddha picks up on some of the things that Chandler does, whether it's how he's taking care of his body, whether how he's watching film. I mean, those two are always watching film, no matter what. You know, we're in a meeting or something like that. You see both of those guys on their film. Buddha's always watching. He's always locked in. So I think he really picked that up from Chandler. And it just shows, man, how, you know, those guys can go out week in and week out and dominate on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Chase, curious, what's it like wearing the wrist monitor, and what kind of feedback do you guys get with that thing?
Yeah, so we got this wrist monitor right here. Right now, mine's not beeping because I'm not in close contact with nobody that, you know, it would consider close contact where you could possibly contract the COVID virus if they were to have it. So really, I'm pretty sure they go off. They start beeping red if I get within like 6 feet or something like that with someone. I put mine in my jersey during the football field just so, you know, it doesn't really get bumped or anything like that, or I lose it off, and then just remember to take it out. But again, I mean, it's a good safety protocol that the NFL is doing. I think they're really doing their best job to just take care of guys, make sure, you know, if someone does contract the virus, where we can kind of find out who they were around, you know, whether someone has to quarantine because of that. I believe in the plan. I remember I was one of the guys who was very skeptic if we were just going to have a season, but really seeing all the methods that we're using, you know, I have complete confidence that we can get this thing done.
Hey, Chase, you said that you worked out with Chris Streveler. What's he like?
Cool guy. I love Chris, man. He's a cool guy, calm, very just, you know, laid back, one of the bros. I like him a lot, man, and he works his ass off. So I can always be around someone and just respect somebody who really works their tail off for this game, just because you get what you put in, man, and it's not to be taken lightly. You know, he's really just trying to take full opportunity of coming from CFL to NFL. And I also like him just because, you know, we're both FCS guys. I remember him when he was up for the Walter Payton Award, me and him, so it was a cool experience for that.
All right, we'll finish with Chase, the last three: Cam Cox, Catherine Fitzgerald, Darren Irvin.
Hey, Chase, 2 questions for you real quick. You called Chandler your big bro.
Yeah.
Do you have an actual brother, or is he your older brother per se? And then also, have any of the rookies had to sing yet? And then any plans for the rookies this year that were different than when you were a rookie?
Yeah, I do not have a big brother, actually. I just call Chan big bro just because I feel like our relationship kind of escalated toward that, just because, you know, I'm always picking his mind and everything like that. And I'm calling him 20 right now this year because the goal is 20+. So we was already talking about that, man. I know he wants to hit that record, but I started off calling him 20 about like 2 months ago. We were joking around with that. And I'm not the rookie singing. They start next week. I think hopefully we get a little more creative. I mean, last year it was terrible. It was awful. Those guys really didn't bring it at all. K1 did a decent job, and Deontay Thompson did a pretty good job, but it was pretty bad. So hopefully they set the standard this year and make something happen. I'm eager to see a lot of skits. I'm a skit guy myself. So, you know, that really gets guys going, whether you like reenact a certain coach on the team or something like that. That gets the guys going.
Chase, when you mentioned kind of watching what the NFL would do as far as protocols and everything, do you also watch what other leagues are doing, like in baseball, basketball, just to see like how different professional leagues handle it?
Yeah, I mean, see, I'm a big sport guy. So, I mean, what Adam Silver did for the NBA was absolutely genius. I just felt like you can't pull that off in the NFL. It's going to be too much money, and it's completely different when, you know, you have just a minimum of 53 active guys, you know, 12 fit practice squad guys, and you got 15 to 20 just, you know, staff and medicals and everything like that. I felt like it was going to be hard to pull off our own NFL bubble per se. But again, I was one of the skeptic guys just because, you know, with baseball, when it first came out with the Florida Marlins, that they had like 8 guys contract the virus. I'm sitting here like, I mean, these guys damn near are swiping each other when they go to second base, and you got 8 guys testing positive. I don't know how we're going to play a football game, let alone a football practice, without getting the number down. But, you know, I really think the NFL is doing a good job right now of just monitoring us with these, and just, you know, you got temperature checks going into a facility. We're filling out questionnaires just to make sure we're not, you know, we're symptom free of it. And we just got to take it a day at a time, man. Obviously, we'll probably hit a little hurdle in the road at some point. You know, it's bound to happen just with flu season going on in the Northeast and everything like that. But I think, you know, if guys really just are responsible at home, watching where we're going, obviously following all the protocols and just staying to ourselves and just really sacrificing to play this game and play this season. It's going to take a sacrifice from everybody, coaches, players, individuals that you're around. So I think we can do it, though, we band together.
Chase, you were mentioning getting to know Streveler. I'm curious, Coach Rogers was saying the other day they're trying to see if he can play some special teams. So has he hit you up on any special teams tips or how to play that? And
yeah. I mean, I was playing PP and personal protector for the punt unit, and that's what he got Chris right now. And obviously, he's a smart guy, man. He's a football player first, and I think he's doing a great job of just picking it up. And he embraces that of doing whatever it takes to make the team. And that's the first and foremost attitude you got to have. You got some guys that come into the NFL with an ego where they never played it down to special teams in their entire football life. I mean, I didn't, but you just got to find a way to embrace that role where I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this football team and make this football team better. And Chris does a tremendous job of that.
It's just kind of out of habit. Whenever you drop a ball, I mean, I've been growing up doing it. Just give me 5, give me 10, and kind of is a little reminder for myself. And just don't do it next time. Make sure you make the plays.
Evan, for a guy who's demonstrative on the field and likes to get ready in an aggravated sort of way, how hard has it been to scale back the hitting, the aggression, and against your teammates your first camp?
I mean, it's not too hard. It's kind of how we practice at Cal. You play the tempo that you're in. If we're in spiders, it's a jog through slash full speed periods with a tap off on the back, the man who has a ball, and full pads is stud until coaches tell us otherwise. And I mean, it's just if you don't know how to practice, you're not going to last very long. And I feel like that's something that I brought from college, and just kind of transferring it over to here.
Okay, the next 3, Darren Urban, Mark McClune, and Cameron Cox.
Hey, Evan, the Cardinals have done a nice job kind of upgrading the inside linebacker core overall. I'm wondering, as you come in, I mean, you're a guy who's been a starter probably every level you've ever been at. Now you're coming in trying to fight for playing time. How does that adjust your thinking, and what's it like being in what looks like a fairly loaded inside linebacker room?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. Guys like Jordan Hicks, Devondre Campbell, those guys are real pros. They got a lot of years in the league, a lot of experience. I mean, a guy in my situation, just trying to pick their brain, figure out what they know, and go from there. I mean, every little question that I can ask, every little detail I can get out of them is something that's going to help my game. And I feel like if I just keep doing that, keep playing ball, keep doing what the coaches are telling me to do, play my job, and don't worry about anybody else, but just I can only control what I can control. And guys like Jordan and Devondre are great leaders, and they're going to help me through the rest of this training camp.
Hey, Evan, Devondre was talking about how fast the tempo that the offense is playing with, how challenging that makes, kind of learning a new system and getting everything in and out. For you, what are those challenges like, picking up a new system with the speed the offense is trying to play at right now?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it difficult for new players like myself, but that just means that I have to try harder and, keep studying, keep learning the playbook, keep watching film, and you can't make the same mistake 2 days in a row. You gotta get better every day and just keep stacking days on each other. And if I can keep doing that, I feel like I'll have a pretty good shot.
Hey, Evan, good morning. Just curious, have you had a welcome to the NFL moment yet? And do you have a song picked out for your rookie singing next week?
I don't have a welcome to the NFL moment yet. I mean, it's football, man. People hate each other. That's about it. Can't be too scared about that. No, I don't have a song, and I actually won't be doing a song, but yeah, I'm going to keep that right there.
Okay, the next 3, Catherine Fitzgerald, Bob McManaman, and Darren Urban.
What's it been like getting to know your teammates off of the field, just their personalities? And is there anyone you've gotten particularly close with so far?
Just just being able to see what type of person they are, you know, see how they carry themselves on and off the field. Like Jordan and Devondre are great guys to follow that lead. And I mean, they watch film, they know how to watch film. They are very, you know, they're very intuitive with everything that they do. So they're thinking everything through, and just being able to watch that and then learn from how they carry themselves. And, you know, I'm just trying to follow in those footsteps. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting along with a lot of dudes from different positions, and yeah, just keep building relationships, because I feel like the better that you have with the relationships, the better that you guys can be as a unit on the field.
Evan, how much are you going to miss preseason games? I'm sure that was something you were looking forward to make your mark.
Yeah, I mean, any time that you get a chance to go out there and play and show the coaches why you deserve to be here is definitely precious. And, you know, now that without the preseason games, it kind of sucks. But like I said, I mean, I gotta worry about what I can control, and that's something I can't control. So I can control going out there every day, giving it my best, and doing the best I can with the reps that I do have in practice.
Evan, does it make learning your job, what you're trying to do on this level, any easier having a fellow rookie like Isaiah in the room with you, trying to go through the same stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you know, me and Isaiah are just picking each other's brains, you know, trying to learn off from each other, trying to like, you know, if one of us makes a mistake on one play, then we're gonna let each other know and, you know, get it fixed. And you know, because there aren't halftime adjustments in the NFL. You know, it's sideline adjustments, and you gotta be able to fix what you're doing right away. Because I mean, you know, we all know a lot of games in the NFL are brought down to the last 2 minutes.
And we'll finish up with Catherine Fitzgerald.
What's it been like watching everything happening at the college level right now, from, you know, obviously conferences canceling or postponing the season, but also seeing players being a little bit or significantly more vocal about like their concerns and what they want to see?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's crazy. And I'm happy that I chose Cal, because I had a chance to play right away, so I wouldn't have to be stuck in this stuff. So, you know, but I feel from my old teammates, you know, a lot of them loved the game and, you know, and wanted to play. And, you know, conferences like the Pac-12 canceling their season or postponing it, I mean, it's going to be tough for them, and especially guys that are trying to make the league or on their cusp. It's something that, you know, could really put a toll on some people and some teams. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.